Welcome to the big comparison, the comparison of the best camera phones in India right now. The newly launched Xiaomi 15 Ultra, the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra, and the vivo X200 Pro. This has to be easily one of the most complex camera comparisons that I've done till now, but I tried. So let's go. If you're here for the first time, I'm Ershad. This is Trakin Tech English, your destination for detailed, incisive gadget reviews. I want to start off with the fact that the 15 Ultra is the only flagship launched in 2025 that still uses a 1-inch sensor, which gives the 15 Ultra an immediate advantage with detailed retention, which is clearly evident from the 100% crop. Xiaomi's algorithm is the one that doesn't overprocess at all, and you get a lot of details plus good fine textures as well. And it keeps the details natural and clean. Between Samsung and Vivo, I prefer Samsung's slightly more natural processing over Vivo's slightly over-sharpened one. Although I must say that while Xiaomi's 1-inch sensor is fantastic, I'm slightly disappointed by the fact that this year, unlike the 14 Ultra, the 15 Ultra doesn't have the variable aperture. Of course, Xiaomi had to take that decision to add that larger 200 megapixel HP9 periscope camera, but more about that in a bit. I'm also glad that Xiaomi has cleaned up the HDR tuning quite a bit. The processing is still contrast heavy, so the shadows are slightly darkish, but the control over the highlights in landscape shots is a fair bit better now. But when it comes to HDR performance, Vivo is still the best though. And you get clean highlight control and a lot of details pulled out from the shadows. Samsung blows out the highlights here slightly, and you can see some noise as well in the shadows. Colors are handled differently by all the three. Vivo's Zeiss Natural mode is the closest to what the color of the book is. Xiaomi's Leica Authentic has vignetting all around and it's not actually a neutral color reproduction. Leica Vibrant is a little too vibrant, so is Vivo's Vivid mode when you look at it. Samsung also tends to be slightly punchier in its only default color mode. But the thing is, if you really want it, all these three have great pro modes. You can take raw pictures and you can tune the colors according to your liking as well. But overall, if you look at it in auto mode, if you're shooting with one of these three phones, I think Vivo would be my top pick. Now finally, when you're talking about low light, again Xiaomi's 1-inch sensor comes in handy and the pictures look amazing. I don't know if it's night god or not, but it pulls the most amount of details compared to the other two. The second best would be Vivo, followed by Samsung in third. Moreover, I really like Xiaomi's noise correction algorithm that tastefully wipes out the noise in the shadow region without wiping out the details. In fact, in extreme low light scenes like these ones, Xiaomi just shines. It's actually very good tuning. Now when it comes to the skin tones, Vivo just aces it. Not just Arnav's skin color, but even the color of his shirt is on point here. Samsung's skin tones are entirely off in comparison. In Xiaomi's Leica Vivid mode, the skin tones are nice and warm, but not as accurate as Vivo. In Leica Authentic, it's a different kind of processing with added contrast, cooler tones, and added vignetting as well around the corners. Having said that, I still can't get over the amount of details Xiaomi's 1-inch sensor pulls, especially when you look at the 100% crop. This is just like how I can't get over the fact that you guys still don't subscribe to our channel despite watching our videos. Come on guys, do it. Give us your support, hit that subscribe button. Now against the harsh backlight, Samsung's HDR processing blows out the highlights. Vivo's HDR performance is more true to scene here. In fact, Leica's Vivid mode also does a good job of maintaining the HDR balance in the scene with a good control over the highlights and the shadows, barring a little bit of bloom around the face, which you can see. In Leica Authentic, however, the background gets completely blown out. Now moving on to portraits, we'll start with the 2x 50mm shots, and Xiaomi's picture here is pure class. You get excellent edge cutout, you get superb amount of details thanks to the fact that you're cropping in 2x into the 1-inch sensor, and incredibly clean bokeh drop off as well. I don't think Vivo and Samsung match up to Xiaomi here, unfortunately. In the next set of samples, we have Xiaomi's dedicated 3x hardware taking portraits at 70mm, and in Vivo you get an 85mm portrait, so which is what I've shot here. This is where the vivo X200 Pro absolutely kills it. The portrait performance is mad good on Vivo at 85mm and above. You get an edge cutout where you can see individual strands of hair, and you get bokeh drop off that looks very creamy. You can see that Xiaomi is also actually doing very well here and is very close to Vivo's performance, but Samsung doesn't match up. However, at 5x or about 115mm, Samsung's portrait shots are actually pretty good, which is also kind of true about the other two. Basically, Vivo is cropped to 135mm here and Xiaomi's is a 4.3x 100mm shot. What's odd, however, how wildly different the skin tones look in comparison to each other. Now, I also shot portraits portraits in low light. At 50mm or 2x, Vivo actually does the best, followed by Xiaomi and then Samsung. Even at 85mm, Vivo is the best, followed by Xiaomi at 70mm. And just take a look at what Samsung does at 70mm portraits. There's a lot of green chromatic aberration that you can see clearly. And finally, in the longest focal length on all the phones, again, Vivo comes out on top, followed by Xiaomi, then Samsung. So overall, when it comes to shooting people and portrait photography, Vivo would be my first pick, followed by Xiaomi and then Samsung. Even if the ultrawide on the 15 Ultra has a smaller sensor now compared to the 14 Ultra, it definitely still captures the most amount of details. Samsung and Vivo are in second spot because I can't tell the difference in details between the two at 100% crop. But when it comes to color sense consistency between the ultrawide and the primary, Samsung and Xiaomi do the best job here, but Vivo sometimes gets this wrong. In low light, Samsung actually does a very good job of getting its algorithm to do some extra work and slightly sharpen the image to make up for that small ultrawide sensor. Xiaomi's details look more natural, but yeah, it's a little too soft otherwise. Vivo has the same problem. But overall, if you look at it, most of the times people use the ultra-wide angle camera in like good lighting conditions when they're shooting landscape shots. And in that scenario, I would actually pick Xiaomi over the other two. Alright, now time to zoom in with these cameras, and that's something that I know a lot of folks like in flagship phones. Let's get down to it. So the advantage of having a 1-inch sensor on Xiaomi clearly shows how it benefits supremely with its 2x in sensor crop. It is just leagues better than Vivo, which takes the second spot, and finally followed by Samsung, which is nowhere close to even Vivo, forget Xiaomi. However, moving on to 3x shots, Samsung and Xiaomi benefit greatly because of their dedicated hardware. And between these two, Xiaomi's again leagues better here, as you can tell for yourself. Samsung would be my second pick, followed by Vivo. But switch to the 3.7x and Vivo beats the competition, especially Samsung very easily. What I noticed is Xiaomi's 3.7x, if you look at it closely, it's actually not too bad despite being a digital crop. At 4.3x, obviously it's Xiaomi at top thanks to the dedicated hardware, followed very closely by Vivo and then Samsung. At 5x, you'd think that Samsung would beat the other two because this is where the S25 Ultra's dedicated hardware kicks in, but not really, guys. Because both Vivo and Xiaomi are almost equally good or even better sometimes. In fact, I would say Xiaomi would still be my top pick here, followed by Samsung and then Vivo. And at further zoom ranges, like at 10x or 30x or 60x or even 100x, I love Xiaomi's processing the best over the other two. Clearly, the 15 Ultra would be our pick for the best zoom camera because the kind of AI processing that it does keeps things looking very natural and very clean. And more importantly, Xiaomi also gives you a toggle where you can switch off the AI if you want to. In low light zoom situations, when you take a look at it, first at 2x, then at 3x, then 3.7x, 4.3x, 5x, and finally 10x, what I noticed is Xiaomi and Vivo's low light zoom algorithm beats Samsung. Now moving on from zoom to macro, it's great on all the three phones, but Samsung's 50MP ultrawide macro has the closest focusing distance, followed by Xiaomi and then Vivo. Samsung's daylight selfies continued to impress with excellent skin tones and a great amount of details. Actually, the other two phones are also doing a very good job, and I'm glad that Xiaomi has improved the selfie performance, but Samsung is the best here. But when you shoot against the light, Samsung blows out the details. The HDR performance is not as good as Vivo and Xiaomi that salvage the highlights on the rear. Selfie portraits too again are best on Samsung. In low light, however, Xiaomi is an easy winner here, followed by Samsung and then Vivo. The problem with Vivo's selfies in low light is that when the night mode kicks in, it uses some AI extreme night mode and it sort of, whitens the face out completely. So I switched that off and took the shot, and there it doesn't sort of match up to Samsung or Xiaomi. Alright, now moving on to videos. In daylight videos that we shot in SDR, which is standard dynamic range and not a HDR, Samsung is the best. You get the most amount of bitrate captured, the sound recording is incredible, so is the stabilization. Xiaomi is also almost equally good here compared to Samsung. Vivo here would be my final pick, not the best of the three. So now we're recording a 4K 60 FPS video using all the three phones. We're walking with it, now we're walking faster. Slowing down. But when you shoot Dolby Vision videos, Xiaomi just beats the other two fair and square. Vivo tends to overbrighten the scene and Samsung tends to underexpose the HDR videos, where Xiaomi gets it absolutely right. In low light videos, Vivo is the best here, followed by Xiaomi very closely in second, and Samsung loses out to both. Now you can also shoot 4K 60 FPS ultra wide angle videos from all the three, but Samsung is the best of the three. Xiaomi would be my second pick and Vivo would be last here. The same is true for selfie videos. Samsung is the best at it with best stabilization, excellent details and best sound, followed by Xiaomi and then finally Vivo. 4K 60 FPS video recording quality using the X200 Pro. Video recording using the selfie camera at 4K 60 FPS using the Galaxy S25 Ultra and the Xiaomi 15 Ultra. video recording using the selfie camera at 4K 60 FPS using the Galaxy S25 Ultra. Now, when you're zooming into a subject and, switching between lenses, all the three actually do a fairly good job of keeping things smooth in terms of zoom. But iPhone is the best, and that's where, these three phones still don't match up. And when you're zooming in, you can actually see that lens switching happening, and it's a little too jerky on all the three phones if you ask me. Quality-wise, however, Samsung comes out on top, followed by Xiaomi and then Vivo. The problem with Xiaomi is that it struggles to hold on to the zoom focus, especially at longer zoom ranges. And this is a problem that we notice not just with videos, but also with photos. Alright, now let's talk a little bit about a few extra features with cameras. Now, when you're looking at shot-to-shot speeds, Xiaomi is just incredible. And that focusing capabilities along with that eye tracking focus is damn good. Vivo's also pretty fast, almost close to Xiaomi, but Samsung is the slowest of the three. Vivo also has the best variety of features with Zeiss portrait lenses, humanistic street mode, and a few more. Xiaomi also has a bunch of features, including the fact that you get a fast shot mode. You also do get a pro mode where you can create your own parameter presets after you've set a particular setting. It's damn cool. But Samsung clearly beats the other two phones when it comes to AI features, that is post, you've taken the shot. The Galaxy AI generative AI features are the best, especially at erasing things. Quite literally, you can see that for yourself. Now that we've taken a look at all the samples, let's evaluate the three. And what I feel is that the Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra is still my choice for video recording in daylight, but not in low light. And the selfies look fantastic as well. And of course, if you're somebody who likes using AI to, enhance your pictures or cut people out of pictures or objects or subjects or whatever, then the S25 Ultra would be the pick for you. The vivo X200 Pro would be my top pick for anybody who wants great HDR performance and for shooting people as well. The portrait mode capability of Vivo is excellent. And even in low light shots, I think Vivo does a fantastic job. Plus the zoom performance, just with a single 3.7x zoom camera, vivo X200 Pro actually performs very well. But remember this, the X200 Pro is actually a pro phone. Imagine what the Ultra can do. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra among the three is a details monster with all of the lenses, except for the selfie one. It has the best set of hardware among the three, and it shows in the performance as well. The 15 Ultra is currently my choice of smartphone for telephoto or zoom shots, and I like the fact that Xiaomi has also managed to fix the issues that I had with it. For example, the HDR performance or even the portrait mode for that matter. But there's still some room for improvement in the skin tones captured by Xiaomi 15 Ultra and that odd bright exposure that you get with the phone. Alright, now so with this information with you, which one of these three phones would be your pick? Let us know in the comments. That's it from me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, keep tracking and stay safe.